Trading other people's capital through prop firms is by far the best way to level up your trading and take more money out of the market. You probably knew it was possible. And in this video, I'm going to show you a method to get funded in just one trade. If you haven't been introduced to prop firms already, you've been living under a rock, but I'll explain really quick. Basically, the model is super simple. You pass a challenge showing that you can reach a certain profit target while minimizing your drawdown. Then you get access to a funded account where you can trade and get paid. The firm itself, of course, makes money off of people buying evaluations, and then the traders who are profitable, they copy trade their accounts. So it's really a win-win for everyone. It's an amazing business model and it works really well for us traders. There are a lot of prop firms out there, but Apex Trader Funding definitely has established themselves at the top as they've removed a lot of the barriers to getting funded. And of course, they offer insane sales. So it is important to note that the strategy that I am sharing with you today is specifically designed for Apex's rule set for evaluations. If you're gonna try this with another company, you're gonna have to do your own due diligence, check their rules and make sure that it'll work. I will say that I've tried a lot of other prop firms and I've landed on Apex. If you're interested in learning more about them, there is a link to their site. And also if you wanna buy an evaluation, you can use the code IAM, that's IAM, that will get you the best possible discount. So let's get into it. I'm gonna break down for you exactly how I pass evaluations in just one trade consistently. And then at the end of the video, I'm gonna try to do it live. So definitely stay tuned for that. First, I want to quickly explain why I think that even passing a challenge like this in one trade is a good idea to begin with. Some may argue, and I used to think myself, that you really ought to trade evaluation accounts the same way that you would trade a funded account, methodically, with discipline, good trading essentially. That's obviously sound advice, and that's how I trade every single day. And if you want to learn to trade consistently, there is a link in the description. You can get mentored by me personally, join our community of traders, trade alongside a group of like-minded traders who are taking money out of the markets. And if you know that passing evaluations super quickly in one trade is going to build bad habits for you, by all means, don't watch this video. But for me, I know I can trade consistently. I know I can trade with discipline. I do it every day. So I don't want to waste time building up an evaluation, taking it slow, because at the end of the day, it's not real money until you are trading a funded account. So for me, it's wasted time. The quicker I can get out of the evaluation stage and get to the funded account, the quicker money can go into my bank. So maybe that's not for everyone. I'm simply sharing what I do. Definitely do your own self-evaluation and figure out what's going to be best for you. One final quick note, I'm going to share my strategy. This is how I get evaluations passed, but I cannot guarantee anything, right? Anything can happen in the markets. Even if you follow all of my advice to a T, do everything that I'm saying in this video, there could be a black swan event or slippage on your order, maybe you don't get filled, or an issue with a trade copier. There's so many things that can go wrong. So I am not suggesting that you should do this or guaranteeing that it'll work. I'm simply sharing what I do. So if you're still with me, why don't you give this video a like and let's get into it. The first step, of course, is to buy some accounts. So I'm gonna grab a couple so I can trade them for you live. I'm just here on my Apex dashboard. You can choose any size account, but you do need to consider the pros and cons. The smaller accounts will have a better chance of working because they have a better drawdown to profit target ratio, but the larger accounts will have a bigger payout potential if you get them to the funded stage. So that's really up to you. I'll do the 50K account for the purposes of this video. Really important on this page that you enter the coupon code IAM to get the best discount. That will support this channel, so I appreciate that. And you don't want to be paying full price for these things anyway. There's literally always a sale going on. Check all the boxes, enter your credit card information, and you are good to go. Then just repeat their process for however many accounts you would like to do. So we are all good to go and ready to plan our trade. First, we need to figure out when we're going to do it. Sure, I mean, you can go full contracts at any point and hope for the best, but that's a coin toss, right? What we want to be able to do is to pass the evaluation really quickly without also having to predict whether the market is going to go up or down. So for that, we need a volatile event. This will vary depending on what instrument you're trading. So pick something that you're somewhat familiar with. I'll be trading NASDAQ futures, and some great events for that particular ticker are the New York stock market open, scheduled economic releases, and earning reports from, like the Magnificent Seven, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, etc. To find an econ release specifically, I use Forex Factory, which is a free site. Here, I would focus on the red folder events, which are the ones that are supposed to be most volatile. You need to note that not all red folder events are created equal, so just do a little research. The cash rate in Australia, probably not as good as the unemployment change in the USA. So a good rule of thumb really is if a bunch of people are talking about it on FinTwit, it'll probably work. There is a CPI number tomorrow, which is being talked about quite a bit, so that's going to be perfect for our live trade. Now we have our event, we know exactly what we're going to trade and when we're going to trade it. The next step is to figure out two critical things. One is how big of a move you can expect your instrument to make in either direction. Again, we don't care if it's up or down. And then we also need to figure out how much of a move you need to completely pass your evaluation in one trade. So to figure out the first, just look up some historical charts and see what has happened on other times your event occurred. If you're trading the market open, look at the market open for the last couple weeks, or the CPI, look at the last few releases of that. It's not an exact science. I mean, if you want to go deep, you can pull some data and plug it into ChatGPT or something, but you really just want a sense of the magnitude of the move that you can expect. To give you an example, this is a historical chart. This is going to be a PPI release. And just looking back over the last few, it looks like the NASDAQ has moved about 100 points, more or less. And that's actually the same move that the CPI release is going to have tomorrow morning for our live trade. So this is a perfect example. So yeah, I know that every time this news release happens, the NASDAQ moves about 100 points. So it'll likely move up that far or down that far. Again, I don't know which direction it's gonna go. To figure out the move you need to pass the evaluation, because you don't need this whole entire move, it's just some simple math. So just imagine you're gonna go full contracts and then just plug the numbers. It's gonna be your profit target divided by the number of contracts you were trading, divided by the dollar value in ticks. And that will give you the number of ticks needed. So for the NASDAQ and the 50K account, our profit target is 3,000 divided by the 50K account can trade 10 contracts, and NASDAQ futures, it is $5 per tick. So that's going to equal 60 ticks. So that is our target for how much we need to trade. But you also got to factor in a little bit of commissions and also some possible slippage. So we'll go for like 63 or 64 ticks. So here's the move that we were expecting, and then here's the move that we need. 64 ticks is about 16 points. So as you can see, we really do not need to catch much of this move in order to pass the evaluation. We just need a little bit of it. The challenge is that, especially during econ releases and earnings, this whole move can happen in a matter of a split second. So you're not going to have time to manually enter and exit the position, and we still don't know which direction it will go. So what we need to do is use an automated trade management tool with an OCO order. Now, if you don't know what that means, no worries, I'll explain. If you do know what that means, stay tuned, because there's some critical details that you can't miss and will really make or break this strategy. So basically, we're going to be entering two orders. We're going to enter a buy order above price and a sell order below price, and then we'll sit back and do nothing. When the market moves and picks a direction, our trading platform is going to automatically enter us. It's going to cancel the order in the other direction, and then it's going to get us out right when the evaluation is passed. So the first step we need to do then is set up our ATM strategy. You can find that over here on NinjaTrader, and go over here, click edit, and then we are just going to simply check the parameters. We want to enter the max number of contracts for the 50K account, that is 10 contracts. The profit is what we calculated from earlier, so 63 ticks, and it is in ticks here, so make sure that that value is selected. And the stop loss really doesn't matter. We are not worried about stopping out. We're just gonna let the account fail if it's going to. So set a stop loss that's just a crazy high number, so it's not even gonna get hit. And then make sure the stop strategy is none. Once you have that, that is all you have to do for that. And then we also have to make sure that OCO is turned on, and that stands for one cancels other. So basically that ensures that if we get filled going long, our short order will be canceled and vice versa. So in order to turn OCO on, you have to go over to the chart trader panel in NinjaTrader, right click, and there is your OCO order right here. So now we got everything set up, but here is the absolutely critical piece of this strategy. If you don't do this, you are surely going to fail. We have to put our orders in the correct spot. Now with these volatile news releases, oftentimes what happens is right when the news comes out, we get some crazy moves in both directions. So it moves up, moves down, you know, there's a lot of this whipsaw action. You don't want to be involved in that. If you place your orders right here above and below price, you could easily get filled long, and then all of a sudden the market reverses and takes everything out. So you don't want to have your orders close to the price action. Remember, you only need the majority of the time a little bit of the move, right? This is all we need. So why would we put it super close to price? You want to put it maybe like halfway through the expected move so that you can ensure by the time the market gets to your order, that is the direction it's going to go. So just look, make sure that you're above like support and resistance, whatever it is, and that you have plenty of room for the market to whipsaw around a little bit before it finally picks a direction and fills you. Before you place your trade, you want to make sure that your trade copier is set up properly. If you are doing this with multiple accounts, I use the Replicanto trade copier. It works fantastically well. There is a link in the description. You can use my affiliate code if you want a 20% discount. Also helps the channel, appreciate it. But the big thing with this is you want to make sure that your instrument, your leader account, is the same as on your chart. So you'll see that the instrument, NQ, okay, here, and then the account, Sim 101, Sim 101. And I do lead with a Sim account. I don't want to lead with one of the evaluations personally. If you have it on a Sim account, you can be sure that the Sim account is not going to blow up because it doesn't do that. And then all the rest are copied to that. So that's how I do it. Maybe you have a different idea. That's fine. I'm just sharing my personal experience there. I've found that to work better. So yeah, make sure that all those match, and then you select on for each of the accounts that you want to trade, and you can do a ratio if you want to make it smaller. If you're doing it like this, exact quantity works just fine. Make sure that cross order is not selected, or then you'll be trading micros and your profit is going to be super small. So that's how all that looks. That's set up perfectly. We have our ATM set up, we have OCO turned on. Now we just need to place the orders. In order to place the sell side order, you are going to right click and hit either sell stop market or sell stop limit. Both work fine. There's pros and cons to each. You can do your own due diligence on that. A market order, you will for sure get filled, maybe not at the price that you want, and when it's really volatile, there might be some serious slippage. A limit order, you will for sure get the price that you want, but you may not get filled if the market's moving too fast. So, you know, they both have their advantages. I like to take the limit just because I really don't want any slippage. So that's the sell order. I can't actually place the buy order because the current price of the market is way higher right now. We'll just imagine that this is my buy order. Again, I'm moving it away from price. I want to make sure that I stay away from all the whipsaw. So I'm gonna put it up in here somewhere, put the sell down in here somewhere, and let's see how it played out. Boom, right there. So right when the news released, there actually wasn't a lot of whipsaw on this one. Got filled right here, and let's measure and see if we hit our target already. Yeah, there's our target at like 16 points, so that was an automatic winner. So now all that's left to do is try this out in real time. So I'll be back here early tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we can get this one. All right, just a couple minutes away. I got my orders in place. Trade copier is on, and let's see how this goes. Well, there we go. Now you can see that all these counts are above the threshold. These are all above $53,000, so they are good to go. And it's as easy as that. So hopefully this was helpful. And again, I can't guarantee anything, but you know, maybe you can get funded trying this. But once you are funded, that's when the real work begins. Consider getting mentored by me, join our community of traders in the Discord, and learn to trade consistently day in and day out, because that's where it's really gonna matter. That way you can build good habits and turn that past eval into money in your bank. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Take care.